Good morning and welcome to the show. We're here to talk about how we build a personal brand and website for an 8-figure entrepreneur. This guy, without a doubt, is probably one of the most valuable people on YouTube. And when I say valuable, I'm not talking about he has a lot of subscribers or he has a lot of followers, whatever. I'm talking about someone who really takes his time in breaking down problems and solutions to teach people how to make money in marketing. This guy has a 150-person agency. He has scaled his business over the last few years to an unbelievable level. He's worked for brands such as Alex Hormozi. He's worked for Snow and a million other brands that really have scaled in 2023. Now, his name is Eddie Malouf. He's a good friend of mine, and he hired me to basically build out this brand. The brand is Eddie Malouf, so we really had to think about a way to be creative with how to present that brand, especially given the challenge. The challenge was that on his website for his agency, his face is everywhere. So what we really had to do is find a way to differentiate between his personal brand and the bad marketing brand. Because again, being that he's the face of both, we really had a challenge showing that, hey, this is Eddie Malouf alone versus bad marketing. Now, the vision of why we wanted to build the personal brand is because he basically wanted to have a space where he could sell his courses on how he does certain things. He could get booked as a speaker for large events, and he could also even get booked as a consultant. This was the vision on why we wanted to build that personal brand and website, and we really had to break that down. But before we talk about how we did it, we really wanted to talk about why it's important. If you're a business owner, as you can see here in these numbers here, you can increase your chances of booking leads by 80%, right? You have a 92% increase in trust. You are more likely to get, seen. Even if you're an employee and you're putting out content, or you're a consultant, you really can connect with people a lot easier, right? I mean, how more likely would you book somebody if you haven't seen them talk, you haven't seen them speak, you haven't seen what they're about, and they just sent you a little bit of a sales deck or presentation? When you get to know the person, when you're putting out content, they're getting to know you even though you don't get to meet them, right? So it really scales the amount of business you can reach. So when you build that personal connection, your business is way more likely to succeed. And it's a very important thing to do in 2023 if you haven't done that yet. So if you're a coach, you're selling a course, you own an agency, start putting out content and start showing your personal brand. Now, to talk about our process here at Sleek by Design, we really go through a pretty streamlined process, right? First, we think about the 10 keywords that you want to rank for, you want to be known for as your business. We really implement that using AI into the website, including all the meta tags into the images, the content, and making sure that if someone looks for one of those keywords, you're popping up on search engines such as Google or Bing, right? The next part, once we have the brand down, we really build the website to resonate with what the actual goal and mission is. So we design the website, we match the brand, we make it look super sleek, and then we develop and test it to make sure it works, how the forms are submitting, so you don't run an ad campaign without submissions coming in. We launch the site, and then from there the performance starts. We do ads, we run SEO, and basically get you beating out your competition every single time. So it's a very streamlined process that takes about 60 to 90 days. Now, going back to Eddie, what we wanted to do is build a really clear brand that was bold and powerful the way he is, right? So we wanted to match that. This was, everybody knows him as Eddie, and we really wanted to showcase that and just put his name really large to kind of like front that as the brand. Eddie Malouf, big, he loved the black and white, he wanted to keep it clean and simple. So we felt this was a way to kind of like shape his brand and just have it bold and in your face as soon as you land on the website. Right, so once we built a style guide, which meant not just the logo, but like the typography, the colors, the styles, the icons that we'd want to use, we started getting into the website. Right, this is a little bit of the visual identity for you guys to see. Like you can see the typography, building a couple samples so we could see how the brand would be displayed, business cards and whatnot. So this was creating that visual style that reflected his persona. Right, so before going into the website, we had to build out the sitemap. That meant, what does this website contain? This is like a little map that showcases all the different sections, the different parts. What's the strategy to showcase, all the different features that he wants to have on the site? This helps you basically agree on what's the type of content you got to create, what's the type of design you got to create before you get into the website, so it cuts down the amount of reviews, right? So we build out a sitemap, and then we get into the design direction. Hey, okay, we have the brand down, but what kind of style? Do you want a more complicated, busy style a little bit on the left, a more simple style more on the right? We kind of felt like it was a little bit in between, but leaned a little bit more to the busy side. So we wanted to find something that really showcased the style that Eddie was looking for, and we found that to be a little bit in between these design directions. right? And then we had to ask him, like, okay, so what are we doing here, right? As we said, we're selling the courses, we're allowing people to book him as a speaker, or at least inquire about it, and we're allowing people to book him as a consultant. So we had to create the web copy for all of that. It's a little bit of a process, but it really increases the chance of someone booking when they have a breakdown, right? Because a lot of the reason people don't process a sale or book a call is because they don't have enough information. So, we had to find the right balance of putting the right information without putting too much. So we built out the website copy creation. We aligned with Eddie. This is a video here of us aligning on the call and him basically, telling us, no, let's adjust this, let's adjust that. Once we lined up and we're ready to go, we started the website design, and of course, right after telling the story. I missed this part. So basically, we wanted to tell the story about who he was, what's the background, why you should hire him, like how this all started for him, what separates him from everyone else. We built a little bit of a timeline on the website. I can show you guys real quick. This is like the home page here. We talk about the little services in the beginning just to kind of break down exactly what he's about. But if you go to the About section, which is my story, you can get to see kind of like the timeline we built out for him. So really cool. We had a little animation going for it just to make it a little sleek, especially on mobile. So that was a really cool example. And then got into all the different services here, as we talked about the speaking. We showcased a little bit how he speaks on stage, so they could really get a sample of the product. And same goes for consulting. Breaking down, you get to submit who you are so he can kind of qualify you and see if you're a good fit for him. And then the package can go on from there. Again, showcasing all the content he's done, really showing it as one cool like Eddie platform, as if, not as if, to showcase really all the content that he's done. So really putting that in one place, we had to find a way to kind of contain all that, thousands of videos and content and pieces and pictures into one place. So again, really loved working on this project. We really got to tell the story of Eddie Malouf, and it was an awesome job. Again, these are a little bit of cuts of the websites, how we built it out, the different sections. And, he was super happy. He really loved working with us, and we're still doing business with him today. So it was a really successful project. Now he's able to run ads, build that out as a separate business, and it's going to be pretty successful. As far as us, give you a little bit of breakdown on who I am. My name is William Houshemi. I'm the CEO and founder of Sleek by Design. We build products, we build brands, we build websites, and we really take them to the next level. So, we work with a lot of entrepreneurs such as Eddie, coaches, consultants, businesses, and help them scale. So from an identity standpoint, the goal of really building a strong identity is to increase the perceived value. So we showcase you as like a really, really big deal, so you can charge more, you can perceive yourself as a leader in the industry, and you can really showcase why people should be paying that big ticket for you, right? So we help with that whole process, enhancing the product, enhancing the business, and really showing it to the world on the ad side right after. Just a little bit about the agency itself. We won, top. We got 2 awards for top agencies in San Jose. We increased, one of our clients' organic leads by 600%. We built a SaaS product for a client, which led to 1.6 million in seed funding. 100% of our clients are on the first page of Google. They always reach the top, and our clients always make their money back at least by 2x. That is statistically tracked, and we have gotten 2 more awards from the AAF, American Advertising Federation, for our branding and design. So just a little bit about us. If you're looking to build a brand, you're looking to build a website, you're looking to grow your business, talk to us, and we would love to work with you. Thanks for tuning in, and we really hope to see you guys again soon. Take care.